All right, joining us this morning is Senator Risa Ontiveros. Senator Ontiveros, good morning to you.
Morning, Karen, and to all our viewers.
All right, let's start first with the shake-up in the Senate. Senator Panfilo Lacson said, regardless of your party affiliation, right, is what happened was ugly. What happened was ugly. I wanted to ask you, did you and members of the majority have an inkling during the weekend of a leadership shakeup?
Well, there were talks and rumors again that another effort was underway. But talagang nung hapong iyon lamang, Lunes, na nag-crystallize na may numero na nga, no? Para palitan yung dating leadership. And that was the first question on my mind, in my mind and on my lips, at kahit nung iba sa mga kasama on the floor. So may 13 na ba, no, yung magiging bagong liderato? And apparently they did.
Oo. Pero during the weekend, did Senate President Tito Soto, for example, make an effort to have a loyalty check? Kumbaga, the loyalty may not be the word, but a check if you or other members would stay with him. Because maraming nagulat ata that Senator Loren Legarda voted for Alan Cayetano. Ginawa po ba yun ng weekend, ma'am?
I remember all the time na Senate President si former SP Tito, kesa loyalty checks, parang mas mataas sa kanya, sa amin, kesa pa sa loyalty, yung duty. Kaya maalala ko yung isang sinabi niya sa inyo sa media at that time na in-affirm lang niya na he serves at the pleasure of his colleagues, and higit sa lahat yung dapat tapat naming tuparin yung tungkulin namin under the Constitution. And until the time that he was replaced on Monday afternoon, ganun pa rin ang pinakamataas sa isip niya at naming lahat, no?
Oh, were you surprised, Senator Ontiveros, that Senator Loren Legarda voted for the other side?
Yes, of course I was surprised. Yes.
Oh, what about the two Villars? Did that come as a surprise to you?
Well, there were talks about various of the colleagues na posibleng manatili or posibleng magpalit ng affiliation sa Senate leadership. And in the end, bawat isa sa amin, we vote, no, according to our belief, our conscience, and I suppose that was their basis as well.
Oo. Because that's what makes the Philippine Senate so different, right? From the US is they vote along party lines, and the parties have certain ideologies. Ito, ang maghirap is you could be in the majority, you believe in one thing, and then when the power shift is about to happen, biglang lilipat ka na naman.
Well, para sa akin, it's not that dire a situation kasi miyembro ako ng Akbayan Party, for example, and sa ganitong mga usapin ng leadership sa mga institusyon, may mga party principles din and definitely also personal principles and values na gumagabay sa akin. So far, meron mga sa amin sa Senado na hindi masyadong naguguluhan or nahihilo kahit sa ganitong mga leadership transitions. And my own attitude until now is been there, done that. Pero magpapatuloy pa rin sa trabahong sinimulan. Pushing for pro-people bills, maglabas ng malinaw na findings at saka malalakas na rekomendasyon sa mga investigasyon. And in just a few months, sisimulan ulit yung trabaho namin to come out with an even more transparent and accountable budget. And syempre, itong pang-apat na tungkulin mayat-maya ng Senado sa impeachment, I am fully committed, and there are several among us fully committed to see it through in terms of our duties under the Constitution.
Now, Senator, how do you think will a change in leadership, this change, where you have very loyal supporters of the vice president in the majority now, right? And the rest being sympathetic or leaning towards the vice president. How do you believe will that affect, frankly speaking, the impeachment trial and the process once the articles get to the Senate?
Well, ano pa mang liderato, yung dati or yung kasalukuyan, the stark reality is unequivocal ang konstitusyon. Walang choice dyan, hindi yan gagawin ba namin or hindi gagawin. The Constitution simply commands us kung may itatransmit na articles of impeachment sa amin, forthwith dapat naming simulan at kompletuhin yung trabaho ng impeachment trial. Kahit si bagong Senate President ay nagsabing wala di umanong kinalaman ang coup dun sa prospects ng impeachment or impeachment trial. And as one of the members of the Senate, I will hold the new leadership to that.
Because we've seen how leadership matters. Under
Oh,
Senate
yes.
President Cheese Escudero, for example, right? There were complaints of delays, right, with the impeachment trial. And true enough, the Supreme Court intervened, and then it was decided to be null and void, so to speak. And the Supreme Court redefined forthwith as not immediate, within reasonable time. And that's within reasonable time is quite debatable.
Yes, at the same time, within reasonable time, definitely is also up to the sense of the Senate and the sense of the Senate leadership. And I agree with you 100%, Karen. Importante ang leadership. Essential ang pamunuan. Whether in an institution like the Senate or in our country in general, in any democracy. And just as in any democracy and country, sa institusyon din ng Senado, importante din yung demokrasya sa loob, yung partisipasyon. So kami po sa bagong minority, paninindigan talaga namin at kung kailangan, igigiit talaga namin. Tungkulin lang namin, plain and simple, sa ilalim ng konstitusyon, isagawa ang trial kung may i-transmit na article sa amin.
What do you think were the real reasons why Senate President Tito Soto was replaced? I'm sure you know, right? What do you think were the reasons? What catapulted, what triggered it?
I can't second guess yung individual reasons ng bawat kasama sa Senado na bumoto para tanggalin.
But what
Hindi
were
lang siya.
factors? Some factors.
I think matalino ang ating mga mamamayan, hindi tanga ang mga Pilipino. So I would give credence dun sa sense ng marami sa kanila na syempre political context yung napipintong pag-transmit ng articles of impeachment at dapat yung kasunod na impeachment trial. Pero as I said earlier, ano pa man ang liderato sa Senado, klaro ang utos ng konstitusyon sa amin. And yun na nga, kahit si bagong Senate President ay sinabing walang kinalaman yun and isasagawa yung aming tungkulin. And again, aasahan ko yan at I will hold the new leadership to that.
Okay. Now, Congress goes on sine die on what date?
That will be June
Is it June
5? June 3, sorry.
June 3, right?
Yes.
So
yes.
technically, there are 2 weeks left
Yes.
before Congress goes on recess. And the lower house still hasn't sent the articles of impeachment to the Senate yet. Tama,
Yes.
ma'am, no?
Tama po.
Wala pa po sa inyo. So if you were to reinterpret forthwith or interpret forthwith, once you get the articles of impeachment, today is a Wednesday. Let's say you
Yes.
get it today on a Wednesday. When should be the next immediate time that you should convene as an impeachment court? Kasi hindi kayo pumapasok ng Friday. Diba?
Opo.
Wala po. O, so
Opo.
kailan?
Well, kung i-transmit ng House ang articles of impeachment sa amin ngayong araw, nothing prevents us, Karen, from immediately constituting ourselves as an impeachment court. na ang first step dyan ay manunumpa yung Senate President bilang presiding officer, tapos panunumpain niya kaming lahat bilang senator judges, and then klaro yung mga sunod-sunod na steps, i-adopt or i-amend yung rules namin of impeachment, may mga preliminaries dyan bilang paghahanda, including pre-trial, mga stipulation ng mga dokumento. So maraming dapat at pwedeng gawin na once ma-transmit yung articles sa amin bago pa yung trial proper.
Oo.
So, yun.
During the first impeachment complaint, against Vice President Sara Duterte, did you convene as an impeachment court 3 months after? Is my memory correct? Or a month after?
We did not dahil nga yun naging debate pa yung para sa akin plain speaking na definition ng forthwith. Pero at least may mga unang steps na isinagawa. Nanumpa yung dating Senate President bilang presiding officer, pinasumpa niya kami, nakapagsuot pa kami noon ng robes namin. Di
So,
ba na
nag-convene
naipatay
kayo.
nun. At
In a way,
sa
you
interpretasyon namin, yung lumang minority noon, constituted na kami as an impeachment trial court dahil nasimulan na naipilit talaga namin na manumpa na yung dating Senate President as presiding officer. So then and there constituted na kami as an impeachment court. Nga lang dun sa mga sumunod na ganap that you mentioned, hindi na kami nakapagdaos ng trial proper.
Oo. Now, coming from the first experience, there were resolutions filed to immediately dismiss it. When you remember, when you convened as an impeachment court, there were already petitions to dismiss the impeachment case. And it seems that there are 2 resolutions already filed to dismiss it kahit wala pa yung impeachment complaint sa inyo.
Oo nga. At saka, I remember, Karen, nung unang impeachment process, nakaraang taon, nung may nag-motion na ganyan, dismissal from the floor, umabot pa nga sa botohan, yung prejudicial issue sa amin ay yung ganyang klaseng mga motion dapat nanggaling sa defense. Hindi po sa aming mga senator judges. Kasi kami yung impartial na magdidesisyon sa ganyang mga motion from the floor. Kaya kung meron ng nakaambang mga resolution o sinasabing motion na ihahain, again, for me, the same principle would apply. Na yan ay mga proper motions mula sa defense at hindi po sa amin bilang senator judges.
So, do you think there will be a repeat, frankly speaking?
I really hope not.
Because we've seen actual trials. That one of Erap Estrada, although unfinished, actual trial. Renato Corona, that was finished till the end. There was conviction. Merceditas Gutierrez convened, but she resigned. So no full-blown trial. It seems that you have colleagues that don't want this, to proceed to a full-blown trial. You'll convene, pero you may not reach a full-blown trial.
We intend to reach a full-blown trial this time around. Na-delay na nga ito, Karen, ng 1 taon dahil sa mga kaganapan nung nakaraang taon. And ganyang katagal na rin naghihintay ang mga kababayan natin. Malaman ang buong katotohanan at batay sa ipepresenta sa aming mga ebidensya, ihaharap sa aming mga witnesses, sa wakas, matitimbang naming mga senator judges at sa wakas makakapag-boto decision kami dun sa issue na i-convict ba or i-acquit ba. We have to give due course and, well, respect sa prosesong ito, respeto sa konstitusyon, respeto sa ating mga kababayan na huwag nang maudlot yung proseso pero makumpleto siya hanggang sa botohan, hanggang sa desisyon.
Now, the crucial vote for the change in leadership was that of Senator Bato de la Rosa. He was the 13th vote.
Mhm.
And he didn't get to the plenary quite easy.
Mhm.
Let's look at that video again. What
Mm.
was your immediate reaction seeing that chase in the Senate? By the way, that's been picked up by international media. I've seen it
Okay.
now in the US, I've seen it in the UK.
Mhm.
Police authorities running after a senator with an arrest warrant. What's your reaction?
Well, nung pinlay yung CCTV video na yon sa amin, sa plenaryo, ang mga malinaw na nakita ng mata ko was one of our colleagues running up the stairs, kasunod niya yung nakilala ng ibang mga staff sa Senate na ilang mga staffers niya, and then some meters away mga hindi namin kilala, so pinresume ko na baka yun yung sinasabing NBI agents at yun na nga yung lumabas pagkatapos. Pero klaro din na they didn't, at least in that chase up the stairs, they didn't lay a finger on him, kahit pinky. And nung nadapa siya, tinukod niya yung kamay niya sa hagdan. So I just tried to put two and two together, yung belatedly nakita ko sa CCTV video at yung lumabas na sumbong o kwento sa floor na may wrestling na nangyari, kaya rin na-injure yung mga daliri. So, there are things na makikita lang plainly ng ating mga mata so that we can put two and two together. And I suppose yan ay kinoconsider din ng Senate leadership sa kanilang pag-imbestiga at pati sabi ng NBI sa kanila ring fact-finding kung ano ang ginawa ng kanilang agents sa loob ng aming
Oo.
building.
Okay, but what should have happened if I were to ask you,
Mhm.
what was the ideal and more dignified situation?
Yes, dignified please. And we have precedents of dignified na mga nangyari nung dati may mga sitting senators na hinaina ng warrant of arrest. We have the cases of the late former Senator Juan Ponce Enrile, former Senator now Representative Laila De Lima, former Senator Sonny Trillanes na nung inihain yung warrant sa kanila, sila mismo ay sumuko and hinarap nila yung proseso. Now, for this incident, I'll take it from former Senate President Tito Soto. Dahil sabi nga niya sa amin, no, to make it of record, kinommunicate sa kanya na may dadalhing warrant ang NBI. So he instructed them in turn, okay, makipag-coordinate kayo sa Office of the Senate Sergeant at Arms. As pinaalala niya sa amin, there was a previous, not warrant ba yun or subpoena mula naman sa CIDG ng PNP. And he had told them the same instructions earlier, mag-coordinate kayo sa OSAA. Karen, kung alam niya, nababalik na pala that afternoon si Senator De La Rosa, and former SP Tito said this also on the floor. Kung alam ko, kung sinabi nyo, sabi niya sa bagong Senate President, kung sinabi nyo sa akin na darating pala siya, I would have made more preparations na maging maayos yung proseso. Precisely, Karen, dignified. As in the case of previous sitting senators na hinaina ng warrant, hindi sana at hindi dapat nangyari yung pagtakbo, paghahabol, may na-injure, at yung nakita niyong kaganapan sa loob ng session. It would have turned out very differently kung sinabi lamang kay dating Senate President Tito na babalik na pala siya, darating na pala siya. And so then the former Senate President would have known, so magpapang-abot yung warrant at yung pagdating ng
none of you suspected, because none of you suspected that Bato may show up, because why would the minority have the courage and be bold to call on a vacancy for the Senate presidency? How would they count, 13, right?
Precisely. That's why
But
I didn't know. In the
didn't know
old
they had the
majority.
numbers.
Hindi.
You did not
That's
know.
why top of mind yung tanong na,
Oo.
may 13 na ba para tanggalin SP Tito, tanggalin kayo at
Oo.
para mag-uluklok, maghalal ng iba. I didn't know, we didn't know, or most of us didn't know na darating na pala after half a year si Senator De La Rosa at magbubuo ng 13 at yun na nga, unfortunately, naidagdag pa yung mga eksenang iyon na ngayon, I'm so, nalulungkot ako, nahihiya ngayon, pinagtatawanan ng marami. Should not happen to the Senate.
Okay, now you've mentioned Juan Ponce Enrile, and it seems that the former Senate President Juan Ponce Enrile, when he knew that the Sandigan Bayan had ordered his arrest in July 2014, what he did was he did not have the warrant served. What he did was voluntarily
Yes.
surrender. So may
Yes.
ganon.
May
Si
ganon.
Laila de Lima naman, she asked not she voluntarily surrendered. She asked that the warrant be served in her home so she could
Yes.
pack clothes.
And say
right?
bye-bye to her kids.
Oo,
Kasi
so-
naghihintay kami
May
sa office niya,
plano.
but they were coming, the PNP were
Oo.
coming to arrest her in the Senate. So, ayan, nagdesisyon siya, ay nako,
Oo.
sige, uwi na lang muna ako and then tutuloy na ako sa krame, which he
Oo.
did.
She did. Now, Senator Antonio Trillanes, when his amnesty was revoked and there was a warrant, he was in the Senate.
He was in
And
the Senate.
Do you
And then,
remember that? Were you
I
there?
saw the video, wala pa ako doon, but I
Oo,
saw the
oo.
video again and sinabihan siya formally, officially, may warrant, binasahan siya ng kanyang Miranda rights. He was just standing with them and very calmly silang nag-uusap and sabi niya, yes, I understand. And then sumama siya sa kanila. So, in all those precedents, Karen, the dignity of the senator concerned, the law enforcement agency, and most of all the Senate of the people was preserved.
Oo, oo. But the difference is the fact those warrants were all issued by local entities and local courts. Ito kasi is the ICC, a foreign and international court, and we know some of your colleagues don't recognize that. It's debatable. Within
Well,
your
debatable
own
for
body.
them. Oo.
Yes.
Debatable within our body. Pero para sa akin, klaro, yung mga iniimbestiga ngayon ng ICC, yung ini-issuehan nila ng mga warrants, ay para sa mga alleged crimes against humanity na naganap within the years na miyembro pa rin tayo ng ICC. At sinasang-ayunan, pumapailalim pa rin tayo sa Rome Statute. So there's no debate about that dahil time will not lie eh.
Oo. But then, Senate President Alan Peter Cayetano, I believe, just issued a statement and said that they will only recognize arrest warrants coming from the Philippines, right?
Well, as you said, it's debatable among our ranks. That is regrettable dahil kahit naman siguro ang bagong SP at lahat pa ng mga ibang abogado sa loob ng Senado would know clearly na the ICC is issuing those warrants and investigating alleged crimes against humanity until the year 2018, which was when the former president unilaterally, isa pang debatable yan, unilaterally withdrew us from the ICC and withdrew our upholding of the Rome Statute. Pero hindi pwedeng mabura yung mga alleged crimes against humanity sa panahong yan na miyembro pa rin at accountable pa rin tayo at ating mga government officials sa ICC at sa Rome Statute.
Okay. Now, there's a resolution right now. I believe 5 senators, can you name them, are urging Senator Bato to surrender to the ICC. The 5 senators, that includes yourself?
Yes. So, isa ako sa 5 pumirma sa draft resolution ni Senator Kiko Pangilinan. Bukod sa akin, pumirma din si dating Senate President Tito Soto, Senator Ping Lacson at Senator Bam Aquino. At yung buong resolution ay hinihikayat Senator De La Rosa voluntaryong sumuko sa mga otoridad at mag-seek ng remedies sa ilalim ng ating konstitusyon, mga batas at saka rules.
Oo. But then you have Senator Lacson signing that when he might be criticized as he avoided his own arrest warrant in the past
Mm.
and went into hiding for 2 years. And he said that was within his legal rights. So Senator Lacson himself didn't allow himself to be arrested.
Mm-mm. Well, of course, I would let Senator Ping therefore answer that issue. Basta what I can tell you is kami ni Ma yung pumirma, and just like any other resolution na final ng isa o ng mas marami, then it awaits the decision of the whole Senate.
Oo. Because right now, Senator Bato de la Rosa went to the Supreme Court, right? And he's asking for a temporary restraining order against that warrant. So what do you make of that? Do you believe those are within our rights?
Oh, any citizen
Yeah.
may karapatan dumulog sa Korte Suprema. So now, the High Court will proclaim on, I suppose, various issues, yung jurisdiction nila dito, and then, syempre, kung magru-rule sila, kung ano ang ruling nila
Oo.
dun sa hinihiling ni Senator De La Rosa.
So now we might have a constitutional crisis. I want to get
Hope
your
not.
take on this. No, Senator Ontiveros, is what if the Supreme Court then issues a TRO on that warrant, right? What takes precedence? What is higher in your eyes? The Philippine Supreme Court or the ICC?
I'm sure I'm guessing lamang that the Supreme Court might also speak on that if and when mag-rule sila sa petition ni Senator De La Rosa. Ideally, Karen, dahil sa progressive legislation, nag-align yung mga batas ng ating bansa sa pandaigdigang mga batas, because we are part of a community of nations. Dati, and some of us would argue in principle, we are still, dahil hindi naging action din ng Senate yun, that we are still members of the International Criminal Court at accountable pa rin tayo sa Rome Statute. So, sa puso ko bilang isang mamamayan at tao at legislator din, dapat pinagsasabay, pinagkakasal natin yung dalawa.
Oo. Ideal yun. But what
Yes.
do you believe is higher in the Philippines? Would it be
I think it's still both. But in practical situations like this, then we must be guided by the Supreme Court. Kung ano ang kanilang wisdom tungkol dito. And that's also why sa resolution ang language ay and seek remedies under the Constitution, laws and rules.
seek remedies?
Yes.
Now, you have, is it already a majority of the Senate, I believe, who want to give protective custody to Senator Bato de la Rosa? In fact, the new Senate president said Bato is now under the chamber's protective custody. What does that mean to you? And can the Senate give that to
No. Well, walang batas na nagbibigay sa amin bilang Senado ng kapangyarihan na gawin iyon, dahil kailangan pa rin naming i-preserve yung batas, yung konstitusyon, jurisprudence, and yun na nga, mga prinsipyo ng international law. So kung i-insist yun ng bagong Senate President, idedebate po namin yan on the floor, Karen. Dahil kahit yung motion na ginawa on the floor nung Lunes, hindi siya resolution, motion lamang in plenary. At kaming mga naging bagong minority noon, we were still present, although not on the floor at that moment. At I believe minake of record na ni Senator Ping kahapon na hindi pwedeng i-presume na yung lahat nung wala doon physically ay sumasang-ayon. So, idedebate namin yon kung yan ang magiging ruling ng bagong Senate President. Hindi pa nga resolution yan eh. At kung resolution, kailangan pang i-refer sa relevant committee bago i-debate sa plenary.
Kasi kapag sinabing protective custody, that would mean to the ordinary person or a layman's interpretation is kapag siya'y nasa Senado, hindi siya pwede arestuhin, di ba? Parang ganun
Mm.
yun. So it
Yes.
means that senator is above the law,
At never
right? That's
dapat
the perception.
maging paninindigan yan ng Senate. Never dapat naming gawin yan at bigyan ng ganong impression yung ating mga kababayan. Kasi bakit ang bawat mamamayan, bawat ordinaryong Pilipino na sinasabi, laging subject sa batas at vulnerable sa anumang parusa na maaring ipataw ng mga korte. So hindi pwedeng kaming mga senador ay magiging, gaya ng sinabi mo, above the law, Karen. So, idedebate talaga yan dahil kaming lahat ay tulad ng bawat Pilipino, tulad ng bawat tao, ay kailangan sumunod sa batas at hindi pwedeng gamitin kahit pa ang aming minamahal na institusyon ng Senado na paraan para umiwas sa accountability.
Oo. Kasi I asked Senator Bato a practical question that this could happen, honestly, if the Supreme Court does not act on his TRO. It will not act, it will not also reject it. You know, it's possible there are petitions in the Supreme Court now regarding Duterte with the ICC that the Supreme Court has not acted on, right? Pwede yun. Does that mean nakatira si Bato sa Senado ng 2 taon hanggang sa susunod na eleksyon? And this is a practical question because
Right.
I've been in the Senate. You can live there. It's air-conditioned, malaki naman ang lugar, pwede ka maglagay ng kwarto, ng kama, ng kusina. But does that mean that a senator can really make the Senate building his refuge for 2 years?
I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy, Karen. Kasi hindi yan befitting kahit yung dignidad ng isang senador. And kami ay lawmakers, naging law enforcer pa nga, chief law enforcer, yung colleague namin. Kami yung isa sa unang dapat magbigay ng halimbawa ng pagsunod sa batas. Kahit pa labag sa interes namin or labag sa kalooban namin. But it's the plain and simple and sometimes painful truth. Kailangan din namin bilang Pilipino sumunod sa batas at sa mga proseso. Hindi dignified na tumira ang kahit sino sa amin sa loob ng aming opisina ng 2 taon. And that's also part of the spirit behind the resolution.
But then with the new leadership, they can actually ban law enforcers from coming in to the Senate building.
In practical terms, yes, but ganun ulit, kung may warrant and we have the rich precedents of the recent and not so recent past in the persons of the late Senators Enrile and Senators Laila and Sonny Trillanes, Laila de Lima and Sonny Trillanes. So those are much better examples of how to handle the situation, painful as it is. May mga dignified and law-abiding precedents na pwedeng i-consider ng aming colleague ngayon.
Oo. Now, being a collegial body, you may have a member of the majority, and this might be happening soon, file a resolution or a proposal not to acknowledge, not to recognize the warrant coming from a foreign court. That is possible, including the ICC. And if that goes into a vote, the majority might win. I mean, practically speaking, right? So what happens now? That's another constitutional issue. Does the rules in the Senate take precedence over, let's say, a warrant, right? Or rules of law? That's another one.
Again, hindi dapat. And that's still a live issue kasi yung mismong unilateral na pag-withdraw sa atin sa International Criminal Court at pagbawi ng ang tawag mo doon, yung pag-accede natin noon sa Rome Statute. So para sabihin ngayon kung sakali na we will ignore the warrant, it will revive that unfinished business of are we really no longer part of the ICC? Are we really no longer bound to respect warrants? At saka, to say na because of current judicial procedures and even legislative debates, hindi muna aaksyonan or hindi muna magbibigay daan sa warrant. Iba pa doon yung not even to recognize, no? So, I mean, ang gusto sana natin dito, Karen, ay itaas, hindi ibaba yung degree ng mutual respect among institutions and processes. Yung parehong respetong hinihingi natin sa ating mga kababayan sa batas, kami yung isa sa unang dapat magpakita niyan. We need more, not less, mutual respect para sa rule of law.
Okay. Before we go to a quick commercial break, right after the change in leadership, Senator Marcoleta has significantly impacted the proceedings by proposing to amend the rules allowing remote voting, right? Remote voting with senators. So this will impact, for example, impeachment results, right?
Definitely.
And some have said that possibly it's in preparation that in case Senator Bato is in hiding or is in the ICC, his vote on the impeachment will still be counted. So itong electronic remote voting proposal na dati dapat the senator has to be present.
Yes.
Yeah, what do you think of this? Are you worried?
Very worried, Karen, at talagang, excuse me, talagang ide-debate ko yan.
Oo. Go ahead, ma'am. You
Kasi
can drink water
walang
first.
salamat.
Oo, please, go ahead. I feel
Kasi-
you. Yeah.
Thank you.
No,
Nakastress,
let me go.
Mga
Let me go
pangyayari.
into a break. Let me go
Alright,
into a
thank
quick
you.
break. We're gonna go into a quick commercial break so we can discuss this very for some they say a controversial proposal.
It
by
is.
Senator Marcoleta. Head Start will be right back. Stay with us.
Get ready for a Wild West adventure. Play Wild Bounty Showdown at Bet88. Choose your luck from over 2,500 games so you have more chances for big wins.
It's a non-stop gaming adventure with Bet88.
Bet88, your ultimate playground.
For 3 decades, ANC has been a witness to the country's historic moments, maintaining the highest standards of Philippine broadcast journalism. Home to the country's most seasoned news veterans, ANC remains at the forefront of the truth. Now our reach grows even wider. Starting today, ANC officially airs on Signal Channel 27, bringing all your favorite news programs to a broader audience. More choices, more perspectives, and the same responsible journalism you've trusted for a generation. ABS-CBN News Channel, now on Signal.
In a fast-paced world where business drives the economy, staying informed is crucial. We'll give you a rundown of the day's most significant business headlines with a snapshot of market performance, sector trends, and notable developments that could impact market sentiment.
Unlock the secrets to success as we showcase the strategies, innovations, and stories behind industries and enterprises, so you're always in the know about how the financial world is shaping up. Gain advantage with our Inside Track access, so you have the right information to help you strategize your business decisions.
The most important business and economic news delivered to you every night on the Business Outlook. Get your business news fix on ANC, the ABS-CBN News Channel.
Welcome back to Head Start, continuing our discussion with Senator Risa Ontiveros. Senator Ontiveros, the proposal of Senator Marcoleta to amend the rules, now allowing for remote voting, that the senator doesn't have to be present. Okay, what is your take on that?
Ide-debate ko talaga yan, Karen. Lalabanan ko yan. Per the rules, it's only force majeure and national emergency that ever allowed that in the past. Maalala natin panahon ng pandemic. So, halos lahat kami
Oo.
Zoom, online. And I say halos because former President Tito Soto, kahit nung panahon ng pandemic, kahit may amended rule kami noon na pwede kaming mag-Zoom, siya everyday pumapasok to physically call the session to order and physically to adjourn it at the end of the session. So, ano yung force majeure ngayon? Ano yung national emergency? At biglang isa pa ito sa unang at pinrioritize ng bagong liderato. Hindi pwedeng hindi kami physically present para bumoto, lalo na sa mga importanteng issue. So, talagang panghahawakan ko yan. We cannot, and certainly not by mere motion from the floor. Kailangan, dadaan muna yan sa Committee on Rules. I-deliberate muna doon bago namin i-debate sa plenary. Hindi pwedeng ora-oradang babaguhin ang isang napaka-importanting rule that has very important implications sa kung papaano namin gagawin ang aming trabaho bilang isang Senado.
Oo. Okay, and what implications are you seeing with this, with the impeachment of Vice President Sara Duterte?
Well, we are going to invite the Vice President kung matuloy na yung impeachment trial, and syempre ire-require namin physically nandun yung public prosecutors, kung may private prosecutors sila, of course, the defense. Tapos,
Yeah.
pwede ba yun na kaming mga senator judges na dapat duminig, na dapat kung gusto namin makapagtanong sa mga witnesses, na eventually kami at kami lamang ang magpapasa ng boto, desisyon kung convict or acquit, na kami ay hindi physically present, parang hindi yan katumbas sa bigat ng responsibilidad namin. Kumbaga, that's why we have that word in Filipino, di ba? Pangatawanan mo. Katawanin mo. So, dapat ang katawan mo nandun. In order to be present, to do your duty, at maging accountable sa ating mga kababayan sa ilalim ng konstitusyon.
Oo. Do you think that the intention of that proposal was to protect Bato's vote?
Well, again, hindi ko ma-second guess yung mga intention, but if that would be the practical application, still, hindi acceptable. Kasi ang bawat isa sa amin, dahil present kami or naging present muli pagkatapos ng kalahating taon, so we should remain present, lalo na para sa mga importanteng trabaho namin, which alam natin, aside from bills, resolutions, annual budget, yung isa pang importanteng tungkulin ng Senado kung sakali ay impeachment trial. So we must be present for all that.
Okay. Now, here's another one, comments on how statesmanship has changed on the Senate floor, right? I mean, we've seen professional enemies, so to speak. Senator Miriam Defensor Santiago and Senate President JPE. That was pretty severe, right? But then there are videos going around social media of yung alleged sigawan, yung sinabi ni Senator Kiko Pangilinan, I still have the floor. But in the end, he offered to shake Robin Padilla's hand, Senator Padilla, and literally you can see Senator Padilla moving away. Okay. You know, first I want to get your reaction on that and the implications, I think, with the body.
Yeah. Well, very regrettable incident kasi importante sa amin sa Senado, lalo na ang liit naming chamber, 2 dosena lang kami. So, importante na laging of course, at pati sa publiko laging may decorum kami, and somehow sa kabila ng at pagkatapos ng bawat matinding debate, because we feel so passionately about various issues, na kaya naming buuin ulit, no, i-piece together ulit yung modicum of civility, kasi we have to work with each other sa ayaw namin at gusto araw-araw on various issues. On some of these issues magdedebate kami, on others of these issues from the get-go, magsing isip kami doon. So, nasaksihan ko yung interpellation na iyon, and maya't-maya talagang kapag in the heat of the moment, lumalakas ang boses namin sa isa't isa, pero often we need to say, I still have the floor, no, para lang i-reestablish yung order under the presiding officer. And it's never a personal attack. Hindi naman sinabing you're trying to take away the floor from me. It's simply saying, I still have the floor. And I also heard, nung nag-uusap silang dalawa, I also heard Senator Kiko saying several times, kung sigawan kita, ipagpaumanhin, and yun na nga, that offer of the handshake. So I hope na Senator Robin will find it in himself, no, as a fellow senator, na tanggapin yung ganyang paghingi ng paumanhin at yung pag-extend literally and figuratively nung kamay ng pagpapaumanhin at pagbubuo muli ng relasyon.
Okay. All right. Well, we don't have enough time, but I wanted to ask, I at least put this in because of course ito yung talagang malapit sa bituka ng ating mga
Yes.
sambayanan, is the fact that oil prices are still up,
My
food
God.
prices are up, inflation is at 7.2, and you are recommending a VAT exemption
Yes.
of households. So hindi na to
Yes.
oil. Can you tell me about that?
It's particularly, Karen, VAT exemption on the pass-on charges ng, ang tawag nito, systems loss. Systems
ng
loss ay
kuryente.
simple. Sa kuryente. Systems loss ay simpleng yung nawawalang kuryente ng mga distribution companies pag-distribute nila sa atin, households at mga negosyo. So kumbaga, hindi natin yan nagagamit na kuryente. Loss nila. Hindi natin nagagamit. So in effect, adding insult to
Bakit
injury,
tayo?
i-VAT. Bakit tayo? Hindi na nga natin nagamit yung serbisyong yon. Bakit natin babayaran? And then, bakit magpapataw ng VAT dun sa hindi na nga natin nagamit na serbisyo? So it's really a double whammy, adding insult to injury. So as a first step, no, so at immediate na pagbigay relief sa ating mga kababayan dahil may gera pa sa Middle East, may oil crisis pa ang bawat household ng nating mga Pilipino.
Yeah.
I-amend yung Internal Revenue Code, National Internal Revenue Code, tanggalin yung VAT kahit dun muna sa pass-on charge sa systems loss.
Oo. And there's an amendment of the law that is needed for this.
Yes.
The president cannot order this under his state of energy emergency.
Oh, good idea. Pero inunahan na namin yung ganyang possibility, by filing a bill na tanggalin yung VAT sa pass-on charge ng systems loss.
Oo. All right. On that note, I want to thank you so much for joining me
Thank you
today.
very
as
much,
always.
Karen.
Senator Risa Ontiveros.
Ingat.